Hey, Wei.
Hey, what's going on?
Wow, cool
All right,
bike,
Thank
bro.
you very much.
Nice.
Let's get my Misfit sticker on.
Oh, man. Nice. Oh, what do we have here?
Aha! So this is a freshly delivered watch. Piece number 1 of a special order that we did with Cartier. 50 watches in steel, Santos Dumont, mechanical in a large size with a very special dial.
Wait, mechanical in a large size?
Aha, yes, exactly. They don't normally make it.
wow.
Normally it's in quartz only. But this color of this car will give you a hint as to what we have inside. Should we check it out?
All right, let's go, man.
Let's roll. What's going on, guys? Waco from Revolution here with Constant Kwong at the Revolution Watch Bar. And look at the beautiful backdrop. It's like an emerald green. Constant, what's going on there?
Oh, I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, okay, so that's a hint towards the watch that we're going to unveil today. So 2 years ago, I was discussing with my friends here in Cartier in Singapore, and I was like, you know, I see that Cartier collecting is really becoming something really more and more popular, you know? And wouldn't it be nice to have a watch that kind of galvanized the collecting community together? And they said, okay, well, tell us a bit about this idea. And I said, okay, so I would like to create a Cartier collecting club called Les Flaneurs.
Oh, is your club there? Les Flaneurs? Wow.
Well, I mean, I initiated this club. I wouldn't say it's mine. I think it belongs to all of the members out there, right? And it includes wonderful people like Auro Montanari,
Yeah, of course.
right? Or Shary Rahman, you know?
Wow.
In fact, I even have some CEOs from brands that are members of this club as well, which will remain nameless. But they all love Cartier watches, and we are united by our concept that if Patek is the king of complications and Rolex is the king of sports, then Cartier is
The king of elegance, yes.
exactly. Oh, clapping from Oscar. Thank you.
Because I heard this right.
So they said, well, okay, tell us a bit about the watch that you like to create. I said, well, the concept for Le Flaneur is an individual that likes to saunter around and observe life. An individual for whom his lifestyle is his art form unto itself, right?
That's very deep, guys.
So someone that loves style, that loves nuance, that loves detail, and it observes the minutia of life and enjoys it as well. Right?
Amazing.
So I want to create a watch to celebrate this culture. So of course it had to be one of the most beautiful shaped watches of all time. It had to be the Santos Dumont, which is...
Yep, Santos Dumont, for me, the best.
Yeah, the very first watch ever created for a men's wristwatch,
yes.
created by Louis Cartier for his buddy Alberto Santos Dumont,
yes.
the sort of rakish playboy aviator
Yeah.
who used to fly his dirigibles around the rooftops of Paris.
Super cool guy, yeah.
I mean, like, you know, like a lot of you guys today like are rolling up with your supercars to like a party. Imagine if you flew in your freaking hot air balloon and tethered it to the rooftop of someone's castle and be like, what's up? Here I am.
Early 1900s as well.
Right?
That era, you don't have any supercars, yeah.
That is badass, right? And then after you slid down the ladder, the rope ladder, you sauntered up, people would be like, what's that on your wrist? You'd be like, that's a wristwatch created by my buddy Louis Cartier.
Super cool, yeah.
And what is amazing about Louis Cartier's creations is over 100 years later, they are still as fresh, as relevant, as incredible as ever. And the beauty of these shaped watches is just extraordinary. So we decided to create a Santos Dumont. So this is the official unboxing of the very first piece of the Le Flaneur Santos Dumont. And here we go. Right, Constant, I'm going to leave it to you, sir.
Let's do it. Can you see it?
So now we're going to have the unveiling of the watch. Constant, take it away, sir.
All right, let's go. Wow, it's beautiful.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, you can actually see it. Okay.
So this is a steel, large size Santos Dumont, but it's mechanical. And you say, wait a second, because the large size Santos Dumont is usually only quartz.
Yes.
And I agree with you. However, when I spoke to my dear friends here at Cartier in Singapore, and I said, listen guys, do you think we could make it as a mechanical watch? They said, you know what, let's try. And they got the feedback from HQ. Thank you very much, Pierre Renero. Thank you incredibly, Mr. Vigneron, for approving this project. They would make this large size watch and a hand-wound mechanical watch.
And now this is the perfect size Santos Dumont in my eyes.
Yeah, so it's a large, which is a little bit misleading as well, because well, to be fair, Santos Dumont today is a watch that's worn equally by men and women.
Yeah.
And a large size to me actually is the perfect size, right? So I'll show it to you on my wrist.
Wow.
And I think it's perfectly balanced. And look how thin it is as well. I mean,
Yeah, that's what's amazing about Santos Dumont, you see. I mean, it's such a beautiful design. 100 plus years old actually, but you know, super fresh, super relevant. But you know, the one thing that I always love about the Santos Dumont is my favorite watch of the Cartier collection is because of the fit and the finish of the whole look of the watch. You know, super elegant, but yet, you know, it's just timeless. You know, you never go wrong with the Santos Dumont.
well, you know, one of the things that was, you know, extremely so adventurous about the watch when it was created is the idea of visible screws. You can see that the bezel, the high polished, mirror polished steel bezel is attached to the brush case using these visible screws. And as we would see later in life, in the 1970s, for example, some of the world's most famous designers, okay, let's just say Gerald Genta, would revisit this idea. But where do you think it came from? It came from
Cartier,
here. Exactly, it came from the genius mind of Louis Cartier. Now, this watch is very unique. As you can see, I'm going to move the watch slightly, and you can see it's got this incredible emerald green sunray like finish on the dial. And then on top of that, it has applied rhodium markers. And then the 12, 3, 6, and 9 are actually Chinese markers.
Yes.
Right? And why? Well, because here we are in Singapore, and we are, part of our culture is very much Chinese oriented.
Come on, let's just say we are Asians, guys. We're Asians, man. We're Chinese Asians.
Okay, fine. Let's just say it. And we wanted to celebrate our culture, right? And I think that's an interesting thing as well because, I think China has always been one of the first or second watch markets in the world. But if you look at the influence of Asian collectors in terms of watch collecting, in terms of building community, I would say it's very substantial. And we wanted to do something that celebrates our culture. Of course, we've seen these wonderful watches created by my buddy Hassan for the Middle East market, which has these wonderful Hindu Arabic indexes, and we wanted to do something that celebrated our culture.
It's a great gesture. I love it. It's now this watch is so much more relatable to me.
Exactly. So then on top of that, of course, you've got this lovely green cabochon as well, and then it's fitted with this wonderful green alligator strap. Now, guys, for those of you who ordered this watch, and I should also mention, so we made 50 of these watches. I apologize in advance if you're watching this and you're like, how do I get this? They were all pre-allocated almost 2 years ago. We started this project almost 2 years ago. The people that have actually ordered their watch and have placed a deposit on this watch, it will be ready for you to collect within the next week or so. Right. So one thing I would say is that Cartier wanted to ensure that the strap was wearable by a large variety of wrists because a good portion of the clients were women that ordered this watch. So this strap is actually 100 mm by 70 mm. So for me, it's a little bit on the short side.
A little bit short.
Yeah. So when I put it on, I can buckle it, but it's almost at the end of it, right? So what I would say that is if you need a larger strap, Cartier has already said that they will take care of this, but you should just alert your boutique and they will exchange this green alligator strap for a slightly larger one. I'm going to go with a 110 by 70.
Nice.
And on top of that, if you have an even larger wrist, you might want to go with something even bigger.
Even longer than that. Yeah.
Roy Davidoff, I'm thinking about you specifically.
Oh, you got one as well?
Yeah, he did.
Awesome.
So what else can I say about this watch? Well, it's actually pretty unique to have this beautiful lacquered clover on the back. So you have an engraving for Les Flaneurs, which is the name of the club. And we decided to call this watch Clover, not because we're Irish, although I love Ireland and I love Irish culture. Van Morrison is my favorite singer of all time, right?
And this is green, right? St. Patrick's Day, guys.
As I said, 50 pieces of this made in steel with beautiful engraving on the back with a lacquered clover on the back as well. And because it's meant to be a good luck charm. So guys, for those of you that ordered this watch, congratulations, it should be with you soon. To Cartier, thank you so much for this capacity to make this special order of 50 watches. Every one of the people that has ordered one of these watches is a true collector and a really cool person as well. It's my objective one day to unite all of us together and celebrate with a wee dram of whiskey or a good glass of wine or a nice
or Chinese baijiu, let's have some Mao Tais, and all that.
and wear this watch.
Baijiu? I like it, yeah.
I'm going to try it with you.
Pretty strong.
I've never tried it before, but I don't want this to be a Class Azul or tequila commercial. Anyway, boys and girls, try not to drink too much. I know I'm trying to taper down as well. This watch is extraordinary. Thank you so much, Cartier. Thank you everyone from the Cartier team here in Singapore. And thank you in particular to one individual that's residing in Japan who works for Cartier, who is an extraordinary human being and an incredible champion for everything that we've done together. I love the fact that Cartier watch culture has kind of like exploded in popularity, even in the 2 years since we initially commissioned this watch. And it's a wonderful thing to see the world recognizing that Cartier is in fact the king of elegance. And it's an elegant watch indeed. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace out. Thanks, Constant.
Thank you, Wei.